Good afternoon and welcome to Let's Talk Marketing. I'm Amanda Delaney, your host today, and my beautiful, amazing guest is the super successful entrepreneur, Mrs. Nicola Connolly-Byrne from I Am Positive Mindset. And I'm not sure whether Nicola has a marketing background, but oh my goodness, does she know how to market like a pro. But we're here today not to talk about all the highs, although we will give you some successful tips to be great with marketing. We also want to talk about the boo-boos, the times when you're pulling your hair out, the frustrations, the challenges that most passionate people who become entrepreneurs either overcome or throw their stuff off the desk and have a meltdown and then hire someone else to do it. This is the reality of becoming an entrepreneur. Nobody will tell you you need to become a part-time marketeer, but you learn that as you go. So hopefully this show will help you to become more confident, to realize that none of us have it all figured out, and that practice does indeed get you better, but done is better than perfect. Okay, over to you, Nicola. Nicola, I want you to start with let's start with the good stuff, the highs of your marketing. What do you love about marketing? And basically, for anybody who's new to the show, marketing is just getting your message out there, being seen by your audience, and attracting all those lovely people who you wish to work with.
Amanda, thanks ever so much for asking me to come on and speak to you. And you said there at the start, I don't know how much you've learned about marketing. I actually started a marketing degree. I think it was in the year 2000. No, it wasn't. It was in the late 90s actually. And I was 2 years in and I decided to pull the plug on it because somehow, I don't know how, I was a natural marketer. I did it organically. In actual fact, me saying that I don't know how, I do know how. It's just being yourself. You know, when people say, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do, how am I going to show up and what am I going to talk about? You are qualified in being you. There's nobody else on earth who knows how to be you more than you do. So for example, just before we went live here, we were having a couple of technical challenges. We got them kind of sorted. As you can see, Amanda's muted and I'm not, and we're going to take turns because we're having feedback. But we're calling that out. We're calling out the elephant in the room. We're saying that was a problem. My dog is very, very clingy to me, and he was sitting behind me up until about 30 seconds before we went live here. But if you're on a live stream or recording video and you're trying to control all of the uncontrollables, sound, air moving, all those kinds of things, lighting, your head's gonna be wrecked. So if your dog barks when you're on a live stream, don't panic and go silent and try and speak really loud to talk over the dog. What I would say is, oh my God, that dog, this is COVID life, this is pandemic working from home. Is your dog wrecking your head as well? Then everybody can identify with that because everybody's going through the same struggles. So for me, it is absolutely stop worrying about judgment, because newsflash, people are going to judge anyway. You cannot bend yourself, as Amanda Delaney would say, into a pretzel to be all things to all people all the time. It just isn't possible. When you lean in and become fully all of you, unconditionally, unapologetically, you are going to attract in your exact right audience. And when you do lean in and become all that you can possibly be, you're going to repulse some people too. They're going to not like you, and that's okay. And they're going to go over there, and that'll be grand because you know exactly where they are and you won't be able to give them any more attention. Lovely. Amanda, I feel like I'm going off the point. Hang on, I mute myself.
The question was, and I love the fact that you've said all of that, because that's just so spot on, and that's what I think your audience and anybody who follows you loves about you, and that makes you so relatable. But the question was, in all the time since building I Am Positive Mindset and building your amazing brand, what was your all-time high where you got your message out? Maybe it was you got lots of followers, or you had a workshop that just exploded. What was your all-time, and I know I'm putting you on the spot here, what was your all-time high where you went, yes?
Okay, so there's been lots and lots of times like that, Amanda. And if I'm honest with you, it's kind of like what I was just saying, but I went slightly off topic. It's the days when people would say to me, Jesus, Nicola, that's like you're really, really passionate / angry about a particular topic, right? And I'm like, that's because I am. That's because I am, and that's how I feel about that particular thing, okay? So when there was marketing highs, they literally were accidents. And how the accidents occurred, they were never planned. None of this is planned, by the way, lads. How they actually occurred was, we're on days where I felt like I had something inside of me that was burning so hot that I felt like if I didn't get it outside of me, I was going to explode. They are the days when I rock up with no makeup, possibly crying, and in the back of my head, my ego was going, don't do that. Oh, don't do that. That's career suicide, Nicola. What on God's green earth would you be doing that for? For example, a couple of weeks ago when I kind of lost me SH1T in the car, okay? They are the marketing highs. When you stop caring about feedback or stop caring about what people have to say, and when you have that burning sensation inside of you where you're like, I have to get it out of me, this has to come out of me, there is a person who you will be speaking to that will need to hear that particular story, that particular nugget of wisdom, that particular experience. Because what your audience is looking for, and I don't care if you're selling dog food or toothbrushes, I don't care. What your audience is looking for is connection. They want to be able to see that you are the same as them, and that they are the same as you, and the spaces in which you hang out, we're all kind of similar, because we are more similar than we are different. So for me, the marketing highs is when I am in flow and not caring what listen, I work really hard at teaching people not to care what other people think. But ego does kick in every now and again, and you do become extraordinarily self-conscious. I was extraordinarily self-conscious about 2 weeks ago when I did a live stream about being upset about my hair, about my appearance, about lockdown, about all of them things. And, you know, I met, wherever you feel like your discomfort zone and your boundary is of, oh, I'm not willing to do that, that's exactly what you need to do. In that moment, that is exactly what you need to do, because energetically you're being pushed towards, will I, won't I, will it be good, will it not? If that's what you're feeling, that pushback is where you have to push back even further and get over that line. So lean into your vulnerability, and when you think it's going to be career suicide, it's actually the opposite.
Oh, I love it. Like, as you're talking, I'm thinking of moments and videos that I've put out there when I'd be red-faced from a run, when I'm passionate and I feel like, oh my God, if I don't get this out, I have to get this message out there. And there was another one where I sat here one morning and I think you rang me straight away. My phone was hopping actually. I was sobbing, just looking at a memory that had come up or something, and it just exploded. And I love that. Be raw, be real, be vulnerable. You know, as a marketing coach, I know I never sit here and say I've got it all figured out. I'm actually working with clients tomorrow and pulling my hair out trying to do Instagram reels. And my reel was actually, this reel is really bad, but I'm okay with that. Now it didn't actually produce properly, so I have to make it again. But you know what? I might do that on a reel. You know, for someone, it didn't show me. Now here I am again. That's what your audience want to see. And especially if you're an entrepreneur, we solve problems.
Amanda, can I just share a marketing fail?
Yes.
Okay. So a marketing fail. Now, first of all, fail in I Am Positive Mindset land stands for first attempt in learning. There is no such thing as failure. There are no such things as mistakes. There's only opportunities for growth, okay? So last year, when we had a small reprieve in the restrictions, I struck while the iron was hot, and I went and I got them roots done. And I went and I booked a studio, and I booked a photographer and I booked a videographer and I went all out with the marketing because I Am Positive mindset was shifting gears and we were going to take over the universe, which we will, by the way. We were shifting gears, we were stepping it up, we were going to show the people this is what it looks like when you are bringing everybody with you to the next level. And we changed the marketing, okay? It was crisp, it was clean, it was pristine, it was, you know, I had a team of people who put me together, by the way. I didn't roll out of bed looking like that. You know, there was hair people, there was makeup people, there was lighting, there was sound. We had a beautiful studio. My family was with me. My kids and my husband get involved in every part of my business, as does Amanda's, okay? However, that was a snapshot in time of a real moment of when all of that actually happened. But what happened for me was I was so happy and impressed and delighted that I was after taking all this money and investing it into my business and shifting gears and stepping it up and all that kind of crack. But what my audience were used to was me looking like this sometimes. you know, windswept and crying sometimes in joy and crying sometimes in sadness or anger or a celebration, or wait, I tell you how absolutely bleeding deadly this was. You know, just the authenticity of it all. Now, that doesn't mean that on that day in that studio with all those people that I wasn't being authentic. Of course I was. I was me. I was myself all day long. And everybody who's in that studio will go, oh my God, you know what? That was actually a brilliant day. We had great crack. But every day in my life doesn't look like that. Every day of my life doesn't look like this. And I noticed over time that there was less interaction on the 2D posts, just me picture posts. There was less interaction, there was less questions, there was less people commenting, and I couldn't work it out. And what I realised is that those kinds of overly processed, perfect picture, and by the way, there's no such thing as perfect, but they looked perfect at the time. And I told a story actually about there was a big row in the car on the way up, and the kids were, you know, moaning over being starving and getting up so early. And I actually wrote a blog about the fact that this picture of me and my family in this studio looks so perfect, but what the regular Joe Soap won't tell you is that there was killings in the car on the way up. Okay, so if you are going to shift gears with your marketing, don't keep it at 7-star quality every single day of the week, because that's not real and that's not me. So even though we do have those beautiful pictures, and we will continue to have beautiful pictures because I want to keep stepping up the marketing, but make sure that it's mixed in with you looking a little bit windswept every now and again.
Love it. Oh, what a valuable lesson. And you know what I always say, if somebody's further along than you, they're more, they've learned these tricks. Take notes, guys, because this could save you a lot of time, energy, and money. I nearly did the same, only for Ian Delaney wrapped me in and said, hang on a minute, you're the one that says done is better than perfect. Your message would be off point if you went and did, everything perfect, because that goes against what you say. So who are you? What do you stand for? What are you passionate about? What I heard from Nicola there was emotion. And that's where the connection comes from with any human being. It's on an emotional level, on a feeling level, not just on a thinking head level. And that's what we're talking about here today. It is connection. Nicola talked about a lot about crying and no makeup. That's video. Why? Because communication is more percentage-wise into your body language, how you're feeling, what you're expressing, your tonality. So if you are marketing your business, make sure you've got the 2 V's, you're adding value, and you've got variety. And that's the tip. So value you're adding, and that you've got variety. And we'll add in an E there, emotional connections. Be real. So there are your 3 tips for today. Nicola, have you anything else that you'd like to add in?
Yeah, there is one thing that I'd like to add, and that's, my business has gone from strength to strength year over year, and I know that I'm in a privileged position, and I'm absolutely so proud to have been able to help so many people in such a short space of time. And the business has gotten busier, and I have to stay in my lane, and I have a team of people supporting me now and all that kind of crack. And it was mentioned to me, it was asked of me last year, Nicola, would you not start outsourcing somebody to write your posts? And this person didn't know me very well, but they really did have my best interests at heart. And I said, not on your Nelly. No. Anything that you read on my website, on my posts that come from my videos, I'm inspired. I'm like a mongrel. I'm inspired by everything. But anything that you read or falls out of my mouth is coming from me. It's coming from my heart. It's coming from my soul. It's coming from my experiences. Never, ever, ever hand over your power as a business person to another person who might understand your business, might get your business, and might know you personally. But they're never, ever, ever going to be able to represent you as well as you can represent you. It's like, I always think of it like a courtroom. You have to be able to represent you to the very purest of standards. So rock up in the purest form of who you are with your words. Your words your word is your bond. All you have is your word, and all you have is your name. So make sure that your words are attached to your name and never outside. I don't care how big, how popular, how busy you are. Take the time, make the time to make sure that the words that are written come from you.
Absolutely fantastic. I couldn't have said it better myself. I used to say, oh, I can't write emails because I write the way I talk. That's because Ian told me that way back when I was starting. And now the great news. Here's the great news for us entrepreneurs. That's what people want. Yes. Yes, that's what people want. I spent a lot of money getting emails written all last year, and I was like, oh no, it wasn't lining up with who I am. It didn't feel right, didn't sound right. You know, it's tacky. Yeah, it's not. There's no integrity in that. In getting someone else to do it, or trying to catch out people with a good sales post. I'm not saying, like, I teach good headlines, good curiosity posts, all that good stuff. But if you are your business, make sure that you are your business, and that what's coming from you is coming from you. Just a quick reminder, next Monday the 19th, I have got the 5 free-day video the free 5-day video challenge, and there's new tasks, so I will be challenging you in areas of storytelling this time. So watch out, sign up, and we'll see you in there. And if not, see you here at the Let's Talk Marketing. Take care. Thank you, Nicola.